Hello and welcome back to the channel, friends. It is great to be here, and I hope you're doing well. So today we're going to be taking a look at the full version of Warlords Battle Simulator. And this is a tactical medieval roguelike auto battler where unit composition and placement is the key. Now there are several game modes within the game here, but we're going to be focusing on the roguelike mode here today. If you want to get a copy for yourself, there is a free demo on Steam, link in the video description below, of course. Otherwise, the game did release in full on Steam on the 5th of November. So with that said, my friends, we're going to hop on into a new run here. Wish your boy luck. I spent about 2 minutes with this game, just getting a little bit familiar. So wish me luck. Let's go. So alright, we have 3 game modes available. So missions, sandbox, and adventure. The adventure mode is the roguelike mode that we're going to be focusing on here today, but the game obviously has a little more flexibility than just a single mode. That's very cool. So let's click on into adventure mode here. And then we're going to be choosing our faction. So we have the Kingdom as the only faction available to us right now. So this is essentially the humans, right? Think of medieval soldiers, right? We also have the Greenskins, so orcs, Barbarians, which I think are more dwarvish in nature. And then we have the Undead. So it's really cool that there's multiple factions available. But we're going with the Kingdom here today. And then we'll be selecting our general. So there are generals that are locked up, right? Some taken right from lore of the past, like Merlin, Sir Galahad, right? But to our selection here, we only have 3 available. So Sergeant Corin, we have Urs the Sentinel, and Duke Elvin. And you're probably wondering, so what is the difference between the different generals here? Well, Sergeant Corin here has 14 fate points. And this is essentially your hearts, right? If you run out of these, you lose the game. He's got 3,000 supplies. So supplies is essentially your max unit cap, essentially. So as you're setting up your battles, you have supplies. Each unit costs supply to deploy, and essentially he's got 3,000, which is the highest of the 3. And then we have gold, which can be used in shops as you go about your business. Corin here also has militia as a unit to use, starting with, and then archers as well. Pretty basic units, a basic archer, basic melee unit. And then Urs the Sentinel has less fate, less supply, less gold, but he's got the light spearman. And if you notice that little precise tag on the light spearman, so that is basically a modifier. And essentially the way this game works is, depending on the modifier of the unit, you can get different bonuses through traits. So for instance here, Urs has courage, which is a precise buff. And that means units with the precise modifier will deal 15% more damage when under his command. So therefore, the light spearman will be buffed in damage. And likewise with hit points as well with tenacity. So that's the way it works. There's different classifications. There's precise, there's swift. I think there's slayer or something of that nature. But it depends because different units have different indicators assigned to them. And as you go about your business, you will actually be able to build your deck with other units and things. And it's all about sort of building a synergy of traits and units that work together. And we have Duke Elvin, who is the cavalry specialist. He's got the Kingdom melee swift units, combat training swift. So it seems like his cavalry actually do some pretty decent damage. But I think we'll go with Sergeant Corin here today. Let's start nice and basic. Let's go. And then we have our map. So Act 1, the Valley. Not sure how many acts there are, but it looks like we have some skirmish with the Barbarians. So that's a high tier upgrade as a reward there, meaning the battle is going to be a lot more challenging. And then we have another high tier upgrade, but a skirmish with the Greenskin army. So we got 2 high tier upgrades available to us starting out here, and I mean, we got some pretty basic units here. So I guess who do you despise more? Let's do battle with the Greenskins. So let's click on this little node here, and then we go to battle, and you'll kind of see how this all works out here. So you have this little red box, and this little red box is your placement to deploy units, right? You have a certain amount of supply. Your units cost the amount of supply down here. Your units have different stats here. You can check the stats of the enemy. In fact, looks like we're going up against a bunch of melee units. And these guys are significantly stronger than our militia. If you look at our militia unit here with 20 armor, 2 attack, these guys have 4 attack and 60 armor, so they're definitely a lot stronger. So we're going to try our best here for sure, and this is, of course, where placement of units and, more importantly, unit composition is the most important. So we have 3,000 supply to allocate. I think we can certainly outnumber them. The question is, how heavy do we go on the archers, right? I think a nice stalwart force to sort of occupy the melee units first and foremost is important. And then I think we can get a nice little back line of archers. So let's go ahead and deploy our militia units here. Get a nice healthy line, or perhaps even 2. And then probably go rest of the way with the archers, I would think. Let's throw in a couple of archers here for sure. So let's do something like this. And let's just fill up this line all the way. And I guess we'll see how this shakes out. Like I said, wish me luck. Spent a few moments with this game. I don't think this game is easy by any stretch. At least with my first 5 minutes with it. So here's our battle formation. When we press start battle, obviously the battle is going to be simulated before your eyes. But before I press start battle here, my friends, if you're enjoying the game, then please smash the like button. Would greatly appreciate that. And if you're new here, then please consider becoming a subscriber. Join a growing community. Would absolutely love to have ya. We also have an open Discord to the public. Lots of cool people there. You can definitely stay a little more connected with the channel through the Discord. So join the Discord if you are a Discord user. Would also love to have ya. And ultimately, I just thank you for spending some time here on the channel today. So without further ado, let's kick this off. Let's go. Let's see if our just sheer numbers can lead us to victory. Let's go. All right, so in they go. Let's see how effective these archers are. I mean, I do like that they're nice and at range here. It looks like their melee units are getting slowly whittled down here. The middle portion, I mean, we still got some numbers. Yeah, we got some numbers for sure. I think the militia units are actually pretty strong. So we got ourselves our first victory here, and now we go into our reward selection. So after the battle, we managed to find a high tier upgrade, and this is where you're going to see we'll have the ability to potentially add another unit type to our army. So for instance, the elf here, so this is a ranged precise unit with these stats here, right? Definitely an upgrade from the archer at 5 damage. Otherwise, we can do endurance training for swift type units. We don't have any swift type units, so we're not going to go with that one. Then we have the King's Will. Your units with Kingdom keyword deal 25% more damage. So this militia unit is a kingdom, and so is the archer. The elf is as well. So I think that's a pretty good one. I mean, 25% increase in damage for our basic units. Pretty good, and then we can focus this run around kingdom type units. So let's go. This must be... Okay, choose a card that will not be drawn again during this run. So you can actually banish types of cards as well. I think we can I guess I don't know. I mean, we might get swift units. So let's go ahead and just take the King's Will. I think that's the best choice. And moving on here, we have an event or we have a shop. So we do have 1,150 gold starting. Let's pop on into the shop and see what's cooking in there. So we can get some upgrades here. So lots of upgrades available, right? So precise, brutal, swift. Yeah, brutal was what I was thinking about, not warlord or whatever I said in the intro. Then we also have units. So we could add the elf here. We could also add light cavalry. So light cavalry will cost 40 supply. It is a kingdom unit. It is swift. I mean, do we add this? Do we add them both? I mean, the elf is a tier 2 archer. Let's do it. Let's see. So I could get precise, brutal. These guys are precise. So maybe we do tenacity precise. Yeah, let's do that. Spend our gold in that fashion. Let's go. And next up, we have a Greenskin army. We have an event. I guess I don't have much familiarity with these events here, so let's check on the event. Let's see what happens in these, and if they're seemingly worth it. So Magic Shop sells better upgrades. Okay, so we have a really high tier shop here. I mean, look at some of these upgrades. Your units with ranged have 25% more range, so you can increase range, soldier discipline, melee units move 25% faster, precise combat training. We got a couple of tier 2 units, including a mage. Okay. And then a juggernaut who's an armored kingdom unit. 250 armor. Wow. Well, unfortunately, I spent all of my cash in the last round, so that's a no-go, but good to know that the event can sometimes produce a rare shop. So let's skirmish with some barbarians now, given it's our only option. And let's load up this battle, and let's see what our elves have. So what do we have? We have a melee barbarian, so a typical spearman, and then we have some archers behind. The archers doing 2 damage, the barbarians hitting for 6 with 80 armor. So, I mean, these guys certainly are kind of the formidable force. And we do get the full 3,000 supply back at the beginning of this battle here. So I think it all starts with a healthy dose of a frontline presence to take on their frontline, right? So let's get some militiamen. And then the elf costs 220. Wow. But attack range is 40. So I wonder if they can they pick him off from the back row here? I guess I can't go too heavy into elves here. Maybe we do 6 of them and then go militiamen the rest of the way. We'll see how this works. I mean, if I'm looking at our elf here, right? 6.25, 40.25 for their stats. Their archers are, I mean, comparable in range, but just a third of what the elf is in all other offensive and defensive categories. So we're going to try this for sure. Let's go. All right, the elf can range them from here, which is nice. We got our front line going in. We got to take out their front line, obviously, first. And hopefully we have some militiamen left. Looks like our militiamen just got absolutely crushed. These guys are very, very heavily armored. Okay, so we have the superior archer versus the inferior archer. Let's see how this shakes out. Looks like the elves win big time. All right. I think I'm agreeing and enjoying my purchase of the elf for sure. All right, so we get another victory there. And moving on, we have an upgrade and 100 gold available. Otherwise, another merchant. Let's go with the upgrade. Load up that battle and let's see. Who do we have on the field? So we have just melee greenskin units. Not really the biggest threat. In fact, we managed to beat them down heartily with a nice row of militia members. So let's get a couple of rows of these guys in here. And then let's accentuate with the elf. I mean, these guys aren't very armored, are they? Yeah, 60, I guess. It's not terrible. Let's do something like this. Let's go. Maybe if we can get like an attack speed upgrade for the elf, it's going to make them just that much more lethal and formidable. Okay, it looks like our front line is kind of holding up. They actually do have some archers here. I did not see that. All right, so the front line holds up well, actually, and the elves move up. And we've seen this before, right? However, I think these guys are a little stronger. They don't have the range, though, that's for sure. So they lose some numbers approaching, and again, it's the elf. All right, so 100 gold and an upgrade. Let's see what kind of upgrade we have. So courage, armored units. Your units with brutal deal 25% more damage. Your units with armored have 25% more hit points. So this doesn't work with anything that we have here. However, I mean, if we're looking at maybe some kind of frontline presence, I mean, it's either brutal or armored. I mean, I think we're kind of in on the elf as our damage dealer, right? So do we go in like an armored build and look for an armored unit? Or maybe we do brutal to get another, you know, frontline high DPS force. I think I'll do brutal. 25% more damage. We have a high tier upgrade here with the undead. And just a basic skirmish with the undead. Let's go with the high tier. Alright, so what do we have here? I'm not familiar with the undead army. So they do have some archers. Ranged undead. They do 3 damage, 20 range, so not the greatest range. 25 armor. Then we have the melee, 40 armor. Okay, so they're a step down from what we've been seeing. And then the skeletons have 20 armor as well. So not too terrifying of a force. However, they are out in numbers, that's for sure. So I think as typical, we set up a nice front line here. Probably double up that front line. Let's get a few elves in the back. Something like this, and then get 2 more of these lucky militia members that are essentially just cannon fodder. Let's go. Let's try this out. Can the elves lead us to victory? That's the question, right? You gotta love their long range, that's for sure. Well, let's kind of get up close and personal in this battle here. And in fact, we can speed things up just a little bit. And it looks like we're just getting swallowed up by the horde of undead here. And yeah, this might not be good, my friends. Although they are kind of slow moving. And the elves are just showing their prowess. My goodness, are the elves strong. Oh yeah. Absolutely. We'll absolutely take that. High tier upgrade. Let's see what we have available to us. So, combat training precise. Units with precise deal 25% more damage. That is, of course, the elf. We have the Royal Guard. So, this is an armored brutal unit. Wow. 10 damage, 200 armor. That's insane. I think I have to go with the Royal Guard, right? I have to. We've got a merchant shop or an event. I'm going to go with the merchant shop here. Maybe we can get an upgrade. Yeah, we can afford one of these. So, Bounty Hunt Brutal. Your units deal 30% more damage to enemies with Brutal keyword. Okay. Precise. More hit points. Increase supplies by 650. Otherwise, for units, they have the Mage. Or a Warrior is also a Brutal unit. I mean, we do have that Brutal upgrade, right? But do I need it? Increase supplies by 650. You know, think about that. That's another, like, 3 elves on the field. Let's go with that. That sounds fine to me. And let's see how our Royal Guard does in battle here. Alright, 600 Greenskins or Barbarians. Let's go with the Greenskins so we can remain nice and in the middle here for our next selection. And let's get on into battle. We have 3650 for supply now, which is very nice. We also have the Royal Guard, which I'm very excited to use. Looks like they have some cavalry here, so Wolf Raiders. And that is a swift unit with 250 armor. My goodness. So we definitely need our Royal Guards on this flank here. So let's get like 5 of them. And then I think I want to have a few elves behind them as well. Right? And then we got just the basic dudes. I think 1 Royal Guard here. And then some militia. Let's see if they can take this out. Let's go with 1 more elf. Maybe splash some militia in here as well, because I don't want those cavalry units getting on my elves. That's not going to be good, I'll tell you that right now. And let's start the battle here. Let's see how this goes. I'm not super confident about this. I guess we'll have to see how strong the Royal Guard is. I mean, they do impressive damage and have really good armor. So let's see. Royal Guard. Let's see. Alright, so as you would expect, they come right on in. The Royal Guard is just great at absorbing that damage, as you can see here. And the Wolf Rider falls. This side is not doing so good, but that Royal Guard can just hang in strong. Wow. Absolutely. I mean, we got... Absolutely. We're looking good here. In fact, we just swallowed up that cavalry approach. Quite nice. Alright, 600 gold in the coffers. And we have a high tier upgrade versus the Undead. I'm feeling kind of invincible with the Royal Guard now. So let's get the high tier upgrade where possible. And what do we have? So we have an Undead precise unit with 60 armor and 8 attack. Okay. So that's actually pretty good. And then more of an armored melee unit with 80 armor. Okay, so an armored zombie. Alright, so Royal Guard it is. So boom. In fact, let's get a decent little line of these guys. And let's get some elven support. And then probably fill in the militia the rest of the way. Something like that. Here goes nothing. Let's go. And the militia, like, run past the Royal Guard. Let's see how strong they are. Let's see how much damage they can absorb. To at least make it manageable for the elves. I mean, they're getting swallowed up. These spear guys are very, very strong. Alright, the elves. Let's see if they can do it. Seems like the enemy kind of gets stuck on the bodies of the units that have fallen. Yeah, so this isn't going to be good. Might be looking at our first loss here, my friends. And sure enough, we do. So we suffer a brutal defeat there, and we do lose a fate point because of that. Now, we do have 13 fate points remaining, which is okay. I think we learned a lesson there. So what do we got to do differently? I mean, do we maybe just try to bank some gold? There's a merchant here. Yeah, let's bank some gold. Let's see, what do they have here? So, wow, 280 armor on these armored skeletons, 8 melee damage, and then a bunch of undead archers behind. So I think we go armor with armor for sure. Probably a similar strategy to what we just did. Let's try something like this. Basically, it's, can our front line beat their front line, right? And if I just look at this right here, right now, it looks like we can. Let's turn up the speed just a little bit, and yeah, you bet. Their front line crumbles. The Royal Guard is obviously quite good at just absorbing arrow fire, and the elves are doing their thing as they typically do. Absolutely. Alright, they got wrecked there. Alright, 700 gold is ours. We're back up to a bit richer of a standing. So let's go ahead and spend some cash in the shop. And what do we have? Bane of the Undead. Your units deal 40% more damage to enemies with the Undead keyword. Okay, so this allows you to sort of focus in on a certain type. We could increase supply again for 650. Your units with ranged keyword deal 25% more damage. So I could get this and this for 1200. I mean, increasing supply seems like a really good idea. We also have another armored unit in the Juggernaut. They do much less damage. They just do. The Royal Guard is kind of where it's at. Can also sell. Interesting. These guys aren't brutal, right? So let's go ahead and... I think this is a good one. So let's definitely get that, and then... I think this is probably a good one too. Help out our Royal Guard just a little bit. Could have gone Eagle Eye there, but I think... spreading it across 2 upgrades is probably the better move. I guess we'll find out. So we do have 150 gold and an upgrade here waiting for us, and then looks like we're on to Act 2. Alright, so they got, what, riders? A whole bunch of riders. Looks like ranged riders as well. Melee and ranged riders. Okay, so we're definitely going to have to space out our Royal Guard. We don't want them crashing in, right? And let's get some elves backing. And then, I guess let's just throw a few of these militia units in here as well. Do something like that. Let's go. Alright, Royal Guard. Of course, they're going to get on us quickly. I'm not too worried about the arrow fire. More worried about the melee engagement. And looks like the Royal Guard is able to hold up nicely. Absolutely. I mean, these guys didn't really stand a chance. So now we got to get up there. And this is where the movement speed of the militia is useful. However, they're starting to take some damage for sure, and the cool-looking Royal Guard is starting to fall as well. But these archers, as you would expect, just don't have much HP, right? So the elves are able to kind of pick them off. Yeah, absolutely. Not a problem. The victory is ours, and some Royal Guards actually remain. We get an upgrade here. Let's see what we have. So we have God's Hand. Gain 4 fate points. Could also get a light cavalry. Or we could increase supply by 650. That's definitely what we're doing. I like the 2 power units that we have. It's just We've got to get more of them on the field. Here's another upgrade. Don't really have enough gold for the shop, so let's go with another upgrade. I like how this game throws shops at you frequently. Alright, so they got a whole bunch of these just tough spearmen. Looks like they have a combination of militia and spearmen. It's hard to sort of discern between the two. They look very similar to me. In fact, they look the same. But one of them is obviously a high-profile unit, where the other, not so much. So let's get a nice and sturdy front line. I mean, you guessed it, right? This is kind of what we do as it relates to this game here on the channel, my friends. We set up a front line. Royal Guard. Let's see if they can do a little bit better this time. I mean, these guys do a lot of DPS. Like, look at this. Our line just withers down. Let's see if they can take as many out as possible before the inevitable rush toward our range units occurs. Alright, yeah, looks like we're going to win this engagement. And we do. Very nice. Alright, 150 gold and an upgrade. So Courage, Brutal. Your Brutal units deal 15% more damage. 15% more hit points for our Brutal units. Then Endurance Training for Armored units. I mean, this guy's armored as well. I mean, 25% more hit points is quite nice. Do we go with that? I think so. I want that front line to hold just a little bit more. It is a tier 2 upgrade and it works. So we're going to do that. Alright, 700 gold. Yeah, don't mind if I do. Could use that. We'll hit the shop next round. Alright, so lots of units on the field here today. And what are these guys? Just basic melee undead units. Looks like some crazed dude with a hammer here. Alright, they all appear to just be quite similar. Alright, well, let's get some Royal Guards on the field. And then I think we're going to have a pretty healthy dose of elves as well. I think the elves are going to do a lot of damage to these guys. So let's actually go with some archers as well. And these guys are ranged and they are kingdom, right? So they do have some buffs. Let's see how we do here. I mean, it's basically a lot versus few. Can the Royal Guards hold up with their improved HP? I mean, it seems like they're doing just fine so far. In fact, this kind of feels like a buzzsaw, doesn't it? Absolutely. Got those big shields just deflecting those hammer blows. And we are victorious. 700 gold we find. Onto the shop. Bane of the Barbarians. We've got Eagle Eye. Got Precise. Swift. Brutal have 15% more hit points. Logistics line. Increase supplies by 1,000. Wow. Yep. I'm not even going to look around. That's what I'm going with. We do have an upgrade. And then a high tier upgrade. I think I'm going to do that over the event. See if we can get back-to-back victories here with our newfound supply, right? 5,300's a decent amount, and we got these hammer guys again, backed by a few archers, it does look like. Okay, so I think the strategy that worked last time is going to work here again. So let's get some Royal Guards in place. And then we can actually do more elves this time around. Alright, let's do something like that. Let's go. Lots of units on the field, though, that's for sure. Can the Royal Guards hold up? It's going to be the constant question. In fact, let's give this a little speed here. And I do like this little dial. It kind of shows you the favorability in battle, right? So we're slowly gaining favorability as we fell the enemy. And now it's obviously in our favor pretty heavily. Absolutely, that was just an absolute bloodbath. 150 gold and an upgrade. A chest of gold. Gain 550 gold. Your units with brutal have 15% more hit points. Receive light spearman. A precise unit. I'll get the more hit points for our Royal Guard. They're pretty important. Alright, so we see the Undead high tier upgrade battle again. And we have these guys. These guys do really, really well against our Undead. Or excuse me, our Royal Guard. And just some real basic melee units off to the side there. However, we're not the same army the last time we were defeated by these guys, right? We're just not. But maybe if I go a lot heavier on the elves, that's the key. I guess we'll find out. Let's do something like this. And let's see if the elves can carry us. I mean, that front line disintegrated pretty quickly, which is nice. I'm not really worried about their archers. I think we have the superior archer. It's these spear guys, right? Alright, very nice. When these elves target the same unit, it just whittles down their HP. Yeah, look at that. Alright, tremendous. Looking good, gaining some momentum here, my friends. Got another high tier upgrade, so what do we have? We get your units with Kingdom deal 25% more damage. Otherwise, come the Bane of the Greenskins here. Could increase supply by 1,000. I mean, this is just too good to turn down. Let's definitely do that. Logistics line is quite nice as well. Another high tier upgrade. We haven't really faced off against the Greenskins in a while, so let's pay them a visit. Alright, so they have their Wolf Raiders again. In fact, they're all Wolf Rider melee units, it appears. I think our Royal Guards do good against these guys. So let's get a couple on the field here and spend the rest of the cash on some elves. As you already expected, right? Let's go. Alright, so they funnel into each of our little stations here, which is nice. Allows us to create a line where our elves can just kind of do what they do, and the elves are definitely doing what they're doing, that's for sure. What an impressive unit. So we got Thralled unlocked. That was an achievement that popped up. You can't see that down there, but we got him. And what do we have? A chest of gold. We have a mage. So this is a ranged kingdom unit. Does 8 damage. How does that compare to the elf? I mean, it's pretty comparable, actually. It's a tier 2 unit. Yeah, let's get a little diversity in the old party. Let's see what the mage brings to the table. More greenskins, you bet. So let's see, the mage has what? 8 range. The elf has 40 range, so I mean, that's the key difference. The mage does hit for a lot better, though. Okay, cool. I think we can certainly deploy some mages. And what do we have going on here? So looks like they have mages. In fact, pretty strong looking mages, if I say so myself. And then they have these must be their brutal units. Yeah, Black Orc. Okay, well, let's deploy a front line, as we so typically do here. And I want to get a few mages in here. These guys are 140 a pop, though. Gotta be a little careful, but we got them. Might as well deploy them. And then elves the rest of the way. With their excellent range, and then how about a lone archer? Alright, let's go. See how this shakes out. Curious what the mage is going to do. So these guys are shooting boulders, it looks like earth magic. What are these guys doing exactly? I don't see them attacking. The mage might be a really good counter to our heavily armored Royal Guard. I guess we'll see. Doesn't look like the mage really has an attack animation, other than just kind of holding his staff up, but Looks like they have some of their more elite archers on the field as well. How do they fare against the elf, though? Pretty well. Wow. Okay, I think we spent probably a little bit too much on the mage. It was really hard to get a gauge on what the mage was bringing to the table. So let's keep going. Let's kind of reformulate our strategy. And we're going to reformulate it like so. In fact, I want to get a decent look at their archers. I mean, these guys. Orc Killabo. 47 range. Wow. Okay, so those guys are quite impressive. So let's do something like this. Let's see if we have any better result. I mean, the Killbow certainly is. I don't know if these mages are doing splash damage or what's going on. And to be honest, I don't know if the mages in... like, our mages in the last battle were even doing anything. But yeah, these Killbows, man. Wow. Alright, got a focus fire. Focus fire. They can obviously take us out. I think they do piercing damage, actually. That's what it seems like to me. But we do come out victorious. And as I suspected, it was because we went all in on the Royal Guard and Elf. Okay, precise units have more hit points. Otherwise, we can increase supply. Let's definitely increase supply. We have an event or a merchant. Let's go to the event. See what's popping here. Hey, we got a free reward. Alright, so it looks like they're face down. Let's go with the shimmering gold one for sure. Logistics line. Increase supplies by 1,000. Beautiful. Love to see that. 850 gold. Don't mind if I do. Let's get a lot of gold for a future stop at the shop, if you will. So we got some orc warriors. 150 armor. So let's obviously get a front line down. I mean, we're doing really good in supply right now, for sure. I mean, Elf and Royal Guard. We'll put a mage on the field. And let's go. Alright, let's see. How's the Royal Guard holding up? Pretty darn well. I mean, very, very well. Haven't even lost one yet. Absolutely. Alright, you gotta love the elf. Barbarians and an upgrade or more gold. I'm not seeing a shop coming in a while. There are some events. Yeah, let's hit up this event. Alright, so cavalry. And the sun sets. Elite Huskarl. 370. That's a cool looking spry right there. Alright, so we obviously need a pretty big presence in the middle here. Gonna need some Royal Guards on the flank. So something like this. Let's definitely get some elves on the flank here. And here. In fact, let's get two of them. Let's get a strong elven presence in the middle. And let's do something like this. Let's go. Alright, can 3 Royal Guards hold up to an entire swarm of cavalry? That's the question. Looks like the middle is not quite strong enough. However, there's a lot of elves back here dealing a tremendous amount of DPS. And yeah, we just swallow them up. Not a problem. Alright, 850 gold. Quite nice. So 2,100 in the purse so far. And I'm going to go with the event. Maybe we can find that super shop. Choose a reward. Okay. Got another gold card. Definitely take this. God's Hand. Gain 4 fate points. We'll take it. Alright, let's skirmish with the barbs. Let's go. Alright, so these are the Huskarl. These guys are quite strong. And then what do they have for their bowmen? Just a basic range barbarian, so nothing really too formidable or imposing. So let's get a very strong line of Royal Guards and then, of course, accentuate with the elf. I mean, you already knew we were going to do that. Let's get a mage in there for good measure. Let's go. Alright, mage, like, do something. Oh, looks like he's throwing books. Is that what's going on? Just chucking books. Man, that's kind of a... That's a heavy munition to be carrying around, a bunch of books, so you can just throw them. An interesting strategy and approach to battle, for sure. Alright, 850 gold in the coffers here, and here's a shop, so we're definitely going to want to get that. Got a high tier upgrade here. Let's see if we can lock this in. I'm guessing we'll face some more Huskarl, and we sure do. Plus a bunch of basic archers, but we're talking a lot of them. And then what do we have? Some just basic spearmen. Okay, so we obviously have to penetrate their middle defenses here. So let's get a pretty solid line of Royal Guard. In fact, let's put a few more in the middle, but I think going heavy on the elf in this one is important because we have the superior archer, right? We just do. Let's chuck some books with the mage. And let's go. Alright, so these spearmen get cut down without issue. Royal Guard does fall. The archers, I mean, they're gonna definitely output some DPS. However, we do have the range advantage, but we don't have the numbers advantage. My goodness. That was not good at all. Let's see if we can come up with a different strategy. Maybe... Do we go with, like, less elves, maybe? More Royal Guard? What if I just went all Royal Guard? You know what I mean? Because we did a pretty good job getting through their front line. And obviously, it's not a very impressive front line, but let's see how this shakes out. Can the Royal Guard hold up to the arrow fire? The Huskarl need to go down quickly, though. I think you're kind of seeing what the elf brings to the table, and let's see. Can we get up there? No, we can't. Just don't quite have the HP. Okay? I mean, we always have the option of going down here, but I think I want to try this one more time. And what I want to do is I maybe want to go heavy on the elf. As in, so what if we pulled it way back? Put like 8 of these guys, and then let's go with like a crazy amount of elves. Try something like that. Get a few more melee units out there with these militia guys, and let's go. Let's see how this shakes out. So obviously the strategy here is to let the elves do some work because we have so many of them, right? Can they take some of the fire off the Royal Guard before the Royal Guard gets in combat? That's the thought. I guess I don't know. We're going to find out. I think ultimately it comes down to Archer v Elf, right? It just does. And the Archer is on us. We're starting to take a lot of damage here, and their numbers are whittling down, but we just don't quite have the HP, do we? Yeah, I might have to try the other battle here. This one, given how we've upgraded our team and kind of where we're at, and the buffs we have and the composition of units we have, it's just not good. I think a bunch of cavalry would be nice in that particular battle. But we are actually in Act 3, so maybe the difficulty is just spiked up a little bit. It could certainly be as well. So a huge line of armored melee units. So let's get a huge line of our armored melee unit as well. Let's go ahead and get a few elves. How about a mage and an archer? Let's go. Alright, Royal Guard. Do your thing. Stand in unison. Shield to shield. Little phalanx formation. Let's go. All right, quite nice. Simply not a problem at all. All right, 200 gold. Tough as walls. Your units with Kingdom have 25% more hit points. So that, of course, will affect our elves as well, which is quite nice. Let's definitely do that. And moving on here, we have an upgrade. Barbarian upgrade. Greenskin upgrade. All right, let's see. What do we have? So, got a bunch of supply. That is for sure. Let's go ahead and... These are Huskarl. Yeah, Elite Huskarl. Like some Age of Empires stuff going on here, right? So let's just try something like this. I mean, I don't think we need to overthink some of this stuff, right? Let's see what happens. I mean, there's a pile of bodies, but we got a lot of elves on the field here, for sure. And it looks like we're going to come out on top. All right, very nice. So we got Odin unlocked. The highest in rank is the achievement that we got there. And we got another upgrade. Light Cavalry, a chest of gold, Tenacity Armored. So gain 550 gold. I mean, we got a nice little purse we're building up here. Do we look at maybe cavalry? I mean, we're just not in on swift type units. The Royal Guard is armored. Yeah, let's give him some more hit points. Event. Maybe we get that shop again. You lose 1 fate. Yikes. Well, that's not good. How about a shop, though? I think we can turn this into some good stuff. Master of Melee Combat. Your units with melee keyword deal 25% more damage. Brutal does... Okay, Bounty Hunt. Okay, we deal more damage to brutal enemies. Got it. What kind of units? We have the Warrior, Melee Brutal, Juggernaut, Melee Armored. I mean, maybe we add the Warrior just as a cheaper option. I think that's fine. And then let's do this for sure. We didn't get a great draw here, did we? I think we can go ahead and... I mean, these guys... A Royal Guard is armored, so... And that's fairly cheap. So let's get both of these as well. So Royal Guard is bolstered nicely. We got 1,000 gold here. Skirmish with the Undead army. Into a shop. Let's do it. Okay, so they got mages. They have a pretty broad force of units here. It doesn't feel like this is going to be enough, does it? It just doesn't. So let's go with warriors. Let's try this. Yeah, this portion of our line is just whittling down, and of course these guys are going to collapse in on the side flanks there, and yeah, this is a pretty challenging one for sure. There's no way. Yeah, there's absolutely no way. All right, defeat. Fate is not on our side. Well, that is most unfortunate. So let's go central with the Greenskins here. And it looks like we're pretty much to the wasteland, which is, of course, the next territory. So let's go with some Royal Guard. I think maybe we can combine Royal Guard and some warriors. And then elf. And let's see if this works for us. And if it does, it'd be a good little battle to sort of rest my head on and ideate about more tactics. Obviously, we have these mages. Obviously, it's interesting to see just a bunch of mages in mass. Yeah, they just pretty strong when they're bunched up. And fate is not on our side yet again today here, my friends. So let's reformulate, let's recalibrate, and let's think about this just a little bit differently. So, the Undead obviously whooped us. The Greenskins obviously whooped us, so let's try the Barbarians. Let's go. And what do we have here, my friends? We are approaching Act 4 of the Wasteland. Looks like we have a bunch of mounted units in this particular one. I mean, historically, we've done pretty good against mounted units. However, these guys have very high armor and pretty high attack, and there's a lot of them. Looks like they have a combination of heavily armored units and lesser. Okay, so let's see if we can't set up a nice stalwart front here. Let's get a few royal guards on each flank. And then let's go heavy in the middle. In fact, maybe we kind of try to funnel them in just a little bit. Think about our tactics maybe just a little bit differently here. Do something like this, and then let's go ahead and get some, you guessed it, elves. Gotta love that long range of the elf. Let's see if we have a bit better luck this time around. And a few warriors, or militia, I should say. And let's go. Alright, let's go, boys. Okay, so they actually do sort of focus on the flanks, and we're going to lose the positioning battle, that's for sure. And our leftmost flank is going to fall, most certainly. In fact, we're not looking good on either flank, to be honest. Looks like the Royal Guards are enough to sort of handle this rush, but look at our elves just get cut down. Let's see, how we looking over here? Alright, they get the reinforcements. This isn't good. Hard to really tell what's going on, but obviously there's an overwhelm factor. I think maybe we have luck with this one if we just go heavy on the Royal Guard. So fate, again, not on our side, but I think we stand the best chance of winning against the Barbarians. So let's try them again. And like I said, I think I want to go heavy on the Royal Guard. And we'll just see. Just do a nice solid line of them. And we'll see what kind of results we have with this. So let's give this a shot. Let's go. Alright, so each sort of platoon takes on, each segment of their approach here. And let's see how we feeling about this. The leftmost side feel like they're winning. The middle doesn't feel like they're winning. The rightmost side feels like they could be winning, but these heavily armored units are definitely the real deal, right? Riders, or it doesn't matter what type of unit they are, the super heavily armored ones are surely a challenge, and looks like we do win on the left. And they're starting to converge to the middle. We're going to win in the middle here and onward to the right. Yeah, we're going to get out of here victorious. Finally. Had a bit of a cold spell there for sure, but we lock in the victory. Alright, so 300 gold and an upgrade. Let's keep rolling here. Light Spearman, we have Bounty Hunt Swift. How about consistent deliveries? Sounds great to me. And onward we have the Undead Army, and then into a shop where we actually do have some gold. So let's fight the Undead Army. Approaching Act 4. I'm not sure how long this game goes, actually. It looks like they have some spellcasters, which, historically we haven't really done very good against. It's been hard to find an answer for those guys, actually. Got a few archers and then very heavily armored infantry on the front lines. So let's definitely get our, stalwart force down in the middle. We, of course, did secure some more supply, which is nice. I think we certainly do want some elves in this one. So let's get like 10 elves, I suppose. And then I can get 2 more of these guys. And let's just kind of cross our fingers and pray. Let's go. These spellcasters really make me nervous. In fact, I wish our elves could range them. You know what I mean? Looks like our front line's gonna just disintegrate, which it does. I think these mages are the ultimate counter to our Royal Guard. And unfortunately, the mages that we have aren't really up to snuff as it relates to damage output, right? So we're going to be hard-pressed to find a solution here. I don't think the Royal Guard is the solution. It just doesn't feel like it. So fate is not on our side yet again. Let's see. So what is this? Pay 1 fate to skip the next fight. I mean, I'll give it one more shot, but we might be looking at a skip here. I don't really think our unit composition is the right solution. We're not doing enough damage. The elf is kind of ineffective. I don't know, maybe I go with mages and Royal Guard. I mean, we gotta go with the Royal Guard. We have to. Let's get a nice line of those guys and then maybe a line of mages. 2 lines of mages, maybe. Can get exactly 2 lines of mages. So I guess let's give this a shot. Not feeling great about this either, but let's go. Maybe we can uncover something with the mages who, throw books. Obviously, they're very good against these armored units. That's quite obvious. But now the armored units are on our mage line, which they will simply just wither. Yeah, that's rough. I'm really running into some difficulty here right around Act 4. Okay, so this is the end right here. So the last fight. Kill the boss in 3 encounters, you or him. Okay. So I think I will skip. Let's do it. And let's get on to the merchant where we definitely need some upgrade. We need something to help support this run. So let's see here. Royal Guard is armored and brutal. So increase supplies by 450. I mean, I do have 450 to spend. Armored units have 15% more hit points. I mean, that's the Royal Guard. Units, light cavalry and light spearmen. Melee precise, but I don't know, 35 armor, it's just not very inspiring, right? Light cavalry, maybe. Let's increase supply. I think that makes a lot of sense. Let's get this. 15% more hit points for a Royal Guard. Then 30% more damage to enemies with the brutal keyword. Let's do that. It's about the best I can think to do here. And onward to, we have another skirmish with Undead or Barbarians or an event. Let's go with the event. Maybe we can get another card upgrade. No, you simply just lose 1 fate. Well, that's not good. A bad omen indeed. Alright, Undead. We have... So 2 Undead fights here. Let's go with the middle one with the upgrade. Alright, so what do we have going on here? Bunch of spellcasters. You don't like to see a bunch of spellcasters. They have a flank of mounted units and then a pretty heavy front line with these armored skeletons. So I think Royal Guard do very well against mounted units. So let's go Royal Guard, Elf, and then obviously more Royal Guard here. I mean, it's kind of interesting. Like, in this game, I've learned that you just kind of... The units that you choose to upgrade, right? The choices you choose to make, you're kind of stuck with them. Not feeling great about this battle either. I mean, we're just not outputting enough damage. The Royal Guard it's a strong unit, but it's just not quite strong enough. It just isn't. I mean, they get swallowed up immediately. I think those mages are the X factor for sure. I mean, just taking us out with ease. Yikes. So we lose another fate point there, and man, we just can't buy a victory these days. So let's go ahead and pay the fates to do so we can find out what the final fight is all about. So kill the boss in 3 encounters, you or him. Let's go. Alright, so what do we have going on here? Looks like a green skin. He sure is. He is a big orc chieftain. Armored and brutal, so we're going to do, bonus damage to him. However, he has 37,000 armor. What? You can't be serious. 37,000 armor? How am I supposed to hit him? He does 40 attack damage. Wow. Well, what was your favorite moment of the run? I mean, the Royal Guard can only take us so far, truthfully. Looks like they have a pretty balanced composition of units as well. So let's get a solid front line of these Royal Guard here and... maybe do warriors behind, or do we go with the elf? Let's get a few elves and let's just see how this shakes out. Already not really feeling great about this. Let's go. 37,000 HP. Okay, so that little armor indicator, that's actually the HP value of the unit, not the armor, like defense, right? And we haven't even touched him yet. We're busy cutting down his other units, which we're actually doing pretty well on. Getting his mages, which is great to see. Our elves are kind of just having fun. The chieftain is taking damage. However, I just have a feeling he's going to be able to hang in there with his 37,000 HP, but we're going to find out here, my friends. Let's speed things up just a little bit. Alright, so he's approaching 30,000. And we still have Royal Guards with full HP. I mean, these archers really aren't doing anything. Alright, 25,000 HP. Let's go. Let's keep hacking away, boys. Come on. Can we actually do this? I mean, it certainly is more feasible than I originally thought it was going to be. I mean, I saw the armor value and I was thinking, okay, we're only going to do 1 damage to him the entire time. However, it just doesn't quite feel like we're going to have enough firepower here. Yeah, he's got 18,000 HP left. And he's going to just simply cut down our elves and archer. Okay, so we're 0 for 1. Looks like it just brings you right back into the battle. So I think what we have to do is... I want to try something. I want to try a long developing strategy here. Let's make them come to us. And I think the Royal Guard did very well, so we're going to just stick with the Royal Guard. Warrior, sure thing, and let's go with a few of these militiamen. Alright, let's go. And let's turn up the speed. Ah, okay, so his life carries over. Got it. Well, we actually might be able to eke this one out then. However, where are these Royal Guard members going? Looks like their army is split up in 2. We'll see if this benefits us or not. I mean, we're on the chieftain right away, which is good. However, the mages are just standing back there casting spells for free, essentially. This flank has to take out these mages. That's going to be the key. Alright, that bunch goes down. Now over to these guys. Yep, good job, Royal Guard. Alright, so he's approaching under 10,000 HP, which is good. Alright, 9,000. He's under 9,000 now. Yeah, we actually might get him this time. And if we don't get him this time, obviously I think we can certainly secure the victory next time. Oh yeah, under 1,000 now. And down he goes. Alright, you love to see that, my friends. And now we just got a little mop-up duty. Let's turn up the speed to maximum. See if these Royal Guard can chase down these archers that have been, shooting volumes and volumes of arrows. We have 3 Royal Guard versus 1 archer. Looks like we're going to be fine here, my friends. Alright, victory. So battles 120. 1,200 enemies defeated. We lost 626 troops. Earned 7,800. And obtained 27 upgrades. Excellent. So let's go back to the main menu then. And land this plane. So this, of course, has been Warlords Battle Simulator. I sure hope you enjoyed. I think this game is difficult, right? It's definitely challenging. I think you kind of dedicate yourself and each run to a certain composition of units, and you're sort of stuck with them. And, you know, hopefully you can turn in a winner. It's obviously not guaranteed. I think the game throws a lot of adversity at you. I think some of the more elite and late game battles are very, very challenging, as you saw here in this one. However, I did enjoy my time with it, and if you liked it as well, please smash that like button. We can certainly do another run. Let me know in the comment section below. And last, if you are new here, then please consider becoming a subscriber as well. Join a growing community. Would absolutely love to have you. So with all of that said, my friends, thanks for spending some time here today. I'm going to get on out of here, and I'll be catching you in the next video. Thanks a lot.